Welcome to day 3. I can't believe it's already day 3. Like, this is going by so fast. But I have you guys on my iPad and my iPhone because like yesterday there were some questions that came up and it didn't show me on my iPad, so I have my iPhone here. So if you guys have any questions, I'll try to see it on my iPhone, this whole technology thing. But yeah, if you guys are on, just give me a thumbs up or heart or comment so that way I know you're here. And so today I wanted to talk about mindful eating, which I kind of like turned it into kind of a food and mood topic too, because of some of the stuff that you guys were mentioning the other day about how like you have cravings and it's a real struggle, this whole emotional eating thing. So I wanted to talk more about that and also include some of my mindful eating stuff too. I see Carrie. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to day 3. So mindful eating. Back in the day, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but I would say like last year, especially being in, for me, especially being in New York City, there is literally all types of food and you can get it like any time, night and day. You can even get it delivered to your house, which is a very, I guess, convenient but yet dangerous type of thing. So like back when Greg and I first moved here, we were seamlessing, that's the app, like everything, and it was really bad. But basically, you know, at the root of that, like we were both stressed and we were using food as like kind of a comfort thing because it was a new place and, you know, we weren't around our family and friends anymore, so we kind of used and abused food, and you know, as it didn't affect him. I guess he gained a little weight, but for me, it definitely contributed to me getting really sick. So about 2 years ago, because that was when I finally like went to the doctor because I was having chest pains so badly. I thought I was having like a heart attack. Like randomly throughout the day, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would just be like I wouldn't be able to breathe. And so what I'm getting at with this whole food thing, like eating lots of junk food, even though it tastes good and it can be like comforting for a while, like for a few minutes usually while you're eating it, and then afterwards you just feel gross. But yeah, for me, like what it led to with eating all of this junk is it led to nutritional deficiencies. And so like I had a lot of symptoms, and these symptoms were signs of my body being like, hey, like you're feeding me, but you're just feeding me like empty calories. You're not actually feeding me vitamins and minerals that I need to feed your cells. And so, you know, like I had experienced the chest pains pretty badly. I was having like the weird muscle twitches. It happened a lot like here in my eyelids. And P.S. that's a sign that you have a magnesium deficiency. So it's like eating more nuts or green leafy vegetables, or even going as far as taking a supplement, a chelated one, where there's amino acids connected to the magnesium, so it's absorbed. But anyways, so like muscle spasms, the chest pains, the twitches, even headaches and fatigue, and then also mood. So nutritional deficiencies, especially your omega-3s, the healthy fatty acids that you get from like fish, like that can be a big contributor to mood. So like depression, it can be a big thing where, you know, it's a nutritional deficiency. You're not eating enough, or your body is breaking down those omega-3s, those healthy fatty acids that your brain needs. And then another big one is just PMS. So a lot of cramping, moodiness, that can also be a sign of nutritional deficiencies. So with this whole mindful eating thing, it's kind of just listening to your body, and, you know, because it's giving you these signs, it's giving you these symptoms, and that is supposed to be your clues to, you know, figuring out like what is your body really needing, what is it wanting, and it's telling you, but it's being able to like mindfully turn it into, you know, a healthy food versus some of those comfort foods. And then also a big thing with the emotional eating, like we're human, like we have emotions, and even when we try to like stuff them down, they're gonna show up. And I know personally, I've had times where I just like am somewhere random, and I just like this wave of emotion comes over me because I've been bottling something up, and I'll, you know, maybe I'll start crying and I'll be like, I don't even know why I'm crying. This is the most random place. It doesn't even make any sense. But that's like just the core of us, that we're emotional beings, and we feel and we have feelings. And if we don't deal with our emotions, or if we try to stuff them up or bottle them down, they're gonna come out until, you know, we finally deal with them. So one of the biggest things with emotional, being emotional, is like eating is one of the simplest ways to fulfill those emotions that come up. So it's, you know, being mindful, being aware, like what are you thinking in that moment where you get like a craving, say, of like macaroni and cheese. Like what are you thinking when you start craving the macaroni and cheese? Like, because it's like carb heavy, so it like fills us up, and then it's like warm, it's cheesy, so it's also like a little bit salty, so it's like so comforting. So maybe if we like not think about the macaroni and cheese for a second, and we just think about ourselves and like what we're thinking, if we get to the root of that and we like rewind the tape to go back, and it's like, oh, so the first time that I had this, that you had this craving, it was probably like childhood. And, you know, as a baby, obviously we didn't even know what macaroni and cheese was. But as a child, obviously our mom or dad like would make it for us because it's fast, it's easy, it's cheap, and it tastes amazing. But there's not a lot of nutrients in it. So, like, this whole conditioning thing happened. They made us this food, and we enjoyed it. And it, when you get to the root of it is love. And so, as, you know, fast forward to adulthood now, you know, we have that craving, and we think, ooh, macaroni and cheese. But the real emotion behind that could be that you're wanting love. And it could be as simple as, you know, wanting to love yourself. So, or, you know, or you want more love from others, which the whole, like, law of attraction thing that I'm really into now, you know, basically the rule of receiving love is to first give love. So it's like like maybe it's like texting someone, hey, how are you doing? What are you up to? I love you and miss you. And then they say it back, and then we're like, oh, I feel love. maybe I don't have to eat that macaroni and cheese now. So that's just one thing of like being mindful instead of like getting into that habit, that food mood circle of cravings, because, you know, when you feel like crap, you tend to eat crap because it's easy and delicious, and it takes us back to that inner childhood time where, you know, that sense of love a lot of times came through food because it was easy. The same with candy. Like if you're feeling craving for like sweetness or candy, the main emotion behind that is actually sadness. So it's thinking about, you know, like, why am I sad? You know, what is that inner child trying to tell me? Like, have I been ignoring my inner child because I've been busy taking care of others, and I've just been busy trying to make money? I've been busy trying to take care of myself and just survive. So it's like getting to that root and like thinking about that whole connection. And then obviously it's having to break the habits, which can be a little bit of a process. So for me, you know, I've been avoiding gluten and dairy and alcohol and processed sugar for a solid like 5 months now. And it's been a process because I obviously still get those same emotions, but then it's like getting creative and thinking about different ways that I can satisfy that craving. So I've tried making like gluten-free vegan mac and cheese, and like luckily, since we're in this modern world and a lot of people do have food sensitivities or allergies or intolerances, that there are a lot of different foods that are available, and we can use those to make life a little simpler. So I used like cashew cheese and gluten-free noodles. It was pretty good. It satisfied that craving because I just, for like days, I ignored it and it just like came back up. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to satisfy this food craving, but I'm gonna make it but I'm gonna make it healthier. And so that's what I did. Oh, here. His peanut butter sock fell on the floor, so he was telling me. So anyways, it's also, you know, breaking the habit of giving into all of those cravings that we have all the time, because ultimately we know that like eating those foods over and over again, like it makes us feel good like while we're eating it and maybe a few minutes after, but then after it's just like it goes downhill fast, because then, you know, you usually have the symptoms that go along with a lot of those inflammatory foods. I see your message, Carrie. Yeah, peanut butter in a sock. That is how I'm keeping Thor quiet for the most part. But yeah, so it's just breaking that habit and also discovering that inner emotion of why we're having that craving, like thinking back to our childhood and ultimately getting to the root of it all, which is love. Like we're seeking love. We're seeking love towards ourselves or from others. And so it's either like coming up with upgraded foods, which is what I've been doing, or a lot of cravings, like if you're craving something, or like emotion-wise, if you're like angry, a lot of times you want something salty and crunchy so you can just like get that tension out of your jaw. So what I'll have is like either, I love roasted macadamia nuts. I like keep a thing in the freezer, and those things are so delicious, and they're also a little bit sweet, so it's like sweet and salty and crunchy. So like that's the perfect like angry, frustrated snack, I think. Or if you're feeling like depressed and sad and alone, a good thing that I've found as like an upgraded treat is coconut milk ice cream. And I love, it's called Luna and Larry's, the dark chocolate one. That's pretty good. And like I'm saying, it's not like an everyday thing, but when you do have those cravings and those emotions that you just like can't break, it's good to have like healthy treats or healthy cheats so you don't like end up making yourself sick or causing internal damage because of those emotions. So for you, it's just thinking, you know, why am I craving this thing? Like, what is it really? What is the root of this emotion? And either like upgrade the craving to make it like healthier, or maybe it's even like finding an activity. Like, what did you used to do as a child that you loved? Like, was it going for a bike ride? Was it like coloring or drawing or painting? Was it playing games with your friends? Let's see, what other childhood things? Or, I mean, writing or reading. Like, what are these activities that you have been too busy to do? And it's like acknowledging the inner child within you. And maybe, you know, obviously you are busy, but it's like finding time and making time, like even 10 minutes a day could really, really make a difference. Like, go for a bike ride, draw in your coloring book, you know, like instead of, like for me, I used to, like in Iowa, I used to watch a lot of TV, and like while that can be like numbing and comforting for a while, it's just like it's not acknowledging that inner child enough. And so it's like, okay, like let's break the habit, let's try something new, try something fun, and just telling your inner child, like, hey, I see you, I love you, I'm going to do something for you because I know I've been ignoring you, but just back off a little bit with all these cravings. And so, you know, like I said, just finding little activities that you can do every day. And maybe if you've like forgotten what you actually enjoy, just spend like a few minutes to just get curious and like just write down, you know, a few things. Like, did you like to scrapbook? Did you like to color? Did you like to do puzzles, play games, spend time with friends? And then try to, you know, make time to do that. It makes a huge difference. So yeah, daily small acts, mindfulness, getting to the root of that emotion, and acknowledging like our inner child and how maybe we were comforted as a child by our parents because we were seeking love. And then also another big thing is like if you're speaking badly to yourself, like if you're really, really hard on yourself every day, you know, we say things to ourselves that we would never say to someone else. So why are we doing that to ourselves? It isn't helping us. It's just become this like habit. And again, like we can break the habit. The first step is mindfulness and awareness of what we're saying, and then reframing that. The same thing with the food craving. It's awareness, mindfulness, and then reframing it. Like, how can we make this craving healthier? What am I really craving? What am I really hungry for? Because a lot of times it's not actually the food. It's not actually the food. It's usually something else. It's something else we've been ignoring, something else we've been bottling down, something else we've been putting off because either we've been too busy, or maybe we're just scared of that change, and we've been so stuck in our habits that it's became this like robotic way of living. So slowly but surely, I know that you can be mindful of this, you can develop this awareness and break that cycle of food and mood, because foods influence our moods and moods influence our foods, our choices. So it's breaking that cycle, acknowledging our inner child, and adulting, and obviously letting our inner child have some of that love and attention that we've been wanting and putting off. So love yourself, be mindful, be aware, and get into some of those activities or some of those past inner childhood activities. Go. So your challenge for today is to take a step back and be mindful of, like, how are you eating? Are you stressed when you're eating? Are you like barely chewing your food? Are you anxious? You know, are you just eating because of what you're craving? And then also taking note of, what are you feeling? Like, have you been feeling sad, mad, lonely, happy? Whatever it is, just like take notice, write it down, or share it in the comments. And also have some mindfulness of, like, how is that food making you feel? Because, like, for me, this was the easiest way to realize, you know, foods that I was sensitive to or intolerant to. And it's like taking a step back to be like, okay, like, I ate this food, how is it making me feel? So that way you can discover things that are making you feel good or not so good, and you can feel better. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm so excited for day 4. This is all about desire. Yay! So see you guys later. Bye.